Pre-game chat. I'm very tired. I've had a rubbish day. I've lost many games today attempting to train. I've changed my build order slightly. I think that I've gotten myself a more rounded strategy in case I have to play against something I don't want to play against. We'll see how we go. Not going to be talking in this one, but we'll leave the mic on so you can hear the clickety-clacks of the keys. Alrighty then. You can see I'm a little bit depressed there. I'm not going to lie. Like you heard, I was not feeling great. I was having a rubbish day. I actually went through and I completely reinvented the wheel for set early game. And I actually think that the build order that I came up with has got some utility, but you have to decide to do the build in like the very first couple of seconds of the game. One thing I can recommend to you guys is when you're training for a tournament, don't change your build on the day that you are scheduled to play, because you won't be able to get the games in. Losing to Nullus, losing to the player that recently won the most stacked tournament in recent history is totally fine by me. I feel like I'm going in with like a I've already lost attitude to some degree here, but we're going in with Set. Set's our god of choice. I want Set versus Hades. I want Set versus Hades on an open map. I want Frozen Wastes. I want like Savannah. I want even a like a Blue Lagoon wouldn't go astray. There's a couple of maps I don't really want to see. I don't really want to see Watering Hole or Marsh or these maps that are quite tough to get in and do anything on. But I'm hoping there's quite a few maps in the pool. I think the percentage chance that I get a good map versus a bad map, Set versus Hades, is around about 50%. So I'm flipping a coin here in this matchup for a chance to... Not a 100% chance to win, but like a chance to be able to outplay. Whereas there's a couple of maps where I feel like it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to be finding myself in a very, very difficult position. But yeah, we're just waiting here. Let's see if we can't not skip a little bit ahead. I don't know how to, what the button is. No. Okay. We'll just wait. So Nullus is, we looked at Nullus's recorded games as we're starting up here. we'll talk about that afterwards. So I'll talk you through the build order, the ideas with it and what we get. So we get Set vs Hades on Painted Desert, and we get ourselves no Rhino spawn in our main base. This is kind of nightmare scenario for me in many different ways, because it means I can't convert the Rhino in my main base to allow myself free conversion in the middle of the map, which is what I want. So we go off to the side here. I'm trying to sneak my priest off to the side where maybe he's not going to go. Maybe I can convert a hyena or an elephant or a rhino if I spot that nice and early here. In hindsight, I should have used vision. But I think we find the hyena, so it doesn't really matter. We find it pretty quickly at 41 seconds. Now, you can see that the start here, I go on to wood. This idea is effectively, as he finds my hyena and I can distract him away from my priest, which is fantastic. And I find some elephant there in the middle, which is also quite good. The idea here is that I want to get pickaxe really, really early here with the trade-off of getting my monument a little bit later. Now, what I didn't account for here is the inefficiencies of my early game being so bad there. I've done this build and I don't think I ever had idle time on this build, but because of where this zebra died is really causing a lot of problems here. And this means that any dream I have of getting a clean advance time is out the window. And a clean advance time is what I need here every single time. So I should have at this moment. I can see that I've absolutely messed up the micro on the zebra there, but I should have that pickaxe already started. It should already be basically finished, and I shouldn't have any idle town center time. Not having to drop these villagers off early is really, really bad as well. But nonetheless, we're going to continue along. So, bit of a disaster start here. If I were to have my time over again on this map, I would go for my standard build and save this kind of a build for maps like Blue Lagoon, where I have giraffe and they're really, really nice and easy. You don't have to spend so much more time killing off the animal and losing out on income. So, right. So the plan here, we played this matchup against Shelty, and the plan in this matchup is basically to steal a town center. If we can't steal a town center, life is going to be really, really tough. I do see that he's on that food source over there, so I'm like, all right, maybe I can get a bit of a cheese here. Now, had I already been advancing here, which I can't afford at the moment, and I don't have the temple either, I put a monument down. Had I already been advancing here, I would really be able to hit a super amount of damage on him early and get that town center up, I feel. But we are quite a bit slow, and so slow in fact that I need to build another villager. This is a 330 there. Well, it would have been a 334 with the idle villager time that I'd had, but it's turned into a 345, which is really, really bad for us. And not only that, it looks like we don't have the resources here to advance right on time, so it turns out to be a 452 advance, which is incredibly late for set, incredibly late for cheese, but yeah. Now, the plan is, I know he's got food up there. I want to hit that. I've got this elephant I can eat in my base. I should be good. I got pickaxe, so my gold income is coming up really, really fast. I can get my monument. Looks like my priest gets found. I can try and drag that. Well, this is where things get really annoying because I can't even run from that Ajax because of the Katoskopos. So he picks off my priest there, and now my cheese goes even more down the drain because I don't have the priest to help out with the attack. I know he's still here, so with that little in the black check, I can see that, and we'll see how we go with this very delayed cheese. He hasn't advanced yet, which makes me feel very, very good about this all. As there's his advance there, and I'm like, all right, both advancing at the same time. We'll see what we can pick off. One villager down. Two villagers down. And we're going to come up here. He's going to have himself a whole bunch of villagers on that town center, and we have a big, big villager fight. But I just used my upgrade there. He's going to be retreating away, and I have to somehow contend with the fact that he's got a Chiron coming in. I'm in a very, very difficult position here. Well, we take the villager fight. He still hasn't clicked his restoration. He's got way more villagers than I do here. And there's the restoration, and we have to run. And the cheese is a complete nightmare. We lose a lot of villagers. In fact, we lose more villagers than he did there. We're down shifting sands. We're down villagers. We're not down the ferry. Luckily, we didn't lose that. But in terms of bad things that could happen, that was up there. So we've actually put ourselves in a very, 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 very bad position. And he gets that forward town center, and we have to take a back town center here. So we can't take that forward town center because the Ajax and Chiron are over there, so we have to be on the back one. So I'll talk a little bit about the set strategy here and what you need to do in order to win this matchup. Beyond the fact that obviously stealing a town center is something that you really, really, really want to do. And this map was actually perfect for it with a 402 advance time, but nonetheless. what Set wants, if you don't steal that town center, you want to be having the town center that is as close to your opponent's third town center as possible as your second town center. Why? Because that's where you're going to be putting your Migdol stronghold, and that's how you're going to be able to put pressure onto your opponent straight away. So the fact that I need to get this back town center now makes things very, very tough for us. Now you can see I've already got the 500 gold because I was gathering that, and I can actually do some interesting macro ideas here to pull those villagers off of gold and then put everyone onto food and try and get a reasonable heroic age time. But the fact that we've both been idled in the early game, probably me more so than him, it's going to make things difficult for us. But we'll see if we can make it work. As the armory comes up, it's going to be about a 9-minute advance time, which in the grand scheme of things isn't really that bad, but we'll see how things are going to go. So finishing up on this hunt, we don't really want to be producing any more gazelle. You get about 10 favor a minute when you have 2 monuments. So when you click advance, you need to stop the gazelle. And I believe I didn't. There we go. I picked it up there, but that's late. So I don't know if I have quite 10 favor available to advance here or not. I need to finish up on this gazelle here and get myself hand axe and see if we can push forward after all said and done. So we've got a problem now that we're gathering 0 gold, and I've got no goats as well. So this is kind of nightmarish. I don't know what my plan is here. I think I should have put some villagers onto that goat there, and then the giraffe will pop out. If I put them onto that goat there a little bit earlier, it would have been nice. And we don't lose the pharaoh, which is nice, but we almost do. And we're just gonna have a little bit of idle time here. One thing that I learned from playing Shelty is that I need to use that Scorpion Man really, really early to hit some raids. But I think this is too late to be getting some value from that. And I'm not going to be able to do all too much with it. But we get the Migdol up. And now we're going to start going in for basically a semi-fast mythic here. So basically the idea is that I need to somehow push through that town center because there's a back gold mine up there. There's no way for me to get any sort of a gold starve. I do need to get some raids started so we can push him off the hunt in the middle. He's simply just going to be retreating. That doesn't do all too much damage to him. And he's already got his walls set up, so I can't start raiding him here at all. It's 10 minutes into the game, so it's just very, very late. And we'll see if we can't not make something happen as we get our upgrades. We do manage to snipe the Ajax, which is nice. Make him drop the relic. I don't know what the relic is. We push forward. We're going to kill some villagers here and everything else. He has only 2 town centers, which does give me some hope. It means that I can't really kill him in the heroic age because he's pumping units out. But what it does mean is that a mythic age is going to do something, and maybe we can go for our own 3rd town center and be okay here. Trading a chariot archer for Hippocon here, not the best of ideas, but I do have he's basically just winning that fight. I think basically I thought here is that I've got copper mails, so I can actually fight this fairly decently, and especially with the Scorpion Man helping out, it's not exactly a bad fight to take that one there, and he's spending some gold on that stuff. So what I really want here is to be picking off his Toxotes and running away. But at every single moment I try and kill his hero runs. So effectively, we need to take his hero. We get his hero there nicely. We need to kill his hero before we do all too much. And we get a good fight here. This is a decent trade for us. And we got the food now to advance, so we just need to be doing that. I think having some more Scorpion Men here wouldn't go astray, but I realistically can't afford to not build the animals of set if I expect to have any sort of timings to hit here in this game. There's a world where maybe if I didn't go for this advanced time and I just went for mass chariot archers in the heroic age, I might be in a better position, but I'm not sure. We do need to be thinking about how we're going to get our own third town center though, which is definitely going to be a bit of a challenge. So one idea that I kind of learned from Day 9 way back when we were watching StarCraft 2, when I was playing StarCraft 2, is that you want to attack and expand, because what that does is it distracts the enemy army and allows you to get a safe town center up. So we attack and we expand, and Nullus has got all his army in a blob because he's playing his Hades, and that's kind of the best way to do it. So he doesn't know that that's happening, and he can't make that movement there. I'm looking for raids, but realistically I should basically know that he's not over there. What I should probably be doing is sending a villager up onto that position and walling him in. As you can see, my chariot archers aren't going to see a whole lot. My Horus is about to hit, and yeah, there's nothing I can do there. So that chariot archer move didn't do a whole lot, which is unfortunate. But we're both, well, I'm 2 town centers. He's probably going up to 3 town centers here as well while this is all going on. And my chariot archers, for whatever reason there, get caught out. Now, a tornado should be able to kill a naked town center, but because he's positioned buildings all around it, I can't really... it doesn't kill the town center. He's got no upgrades on it, but because there's everything on there, I should have thought about tornadoing a little bit later when I had catapults or siege out, and potentially also hitting the tornado slightly onto the army. But we still got the ancestors. We can still get some pressure done. And we do have the animals of set coming through. So that's going to be a big help. He has to run away. So we have a little bit of initiative here. And if we can get some towers up here, it'll be a really big help. Now, the other thing is that he's also going to be having a lot of resources here, I must imagine. And he's probably going to be going to the Mythic Age. So we need to be thinking about how we can deal with that as well after all is said and done, even if we get some good attacks here. For some reason, my villagers did not build the towers, which is really frustrating, because the only real way I make this army composition work is with those towers up. And he hits the... Well, he's only in the classical age there, but he hits the curse. I've only got one Migdol producing here. So it becomes really tough for me to hold on. And I do think if that tower was up, this fight would go much better. And I probably could have sent more villagers forward to build towers. You can see I'm still holding here relatively well. This is a decent position to be in all honesty. But his economy is quite big, and I just don't have the production to spend my resources. I'm trying to make some spears here. This is part of the game plan, a more solid game plan. I thought maybe if I build some spearmen here against Greek, it'll do something, but at least and maybe try and think about going into the Horus spearmen. It's probably a world where maybe if instead of going for the all-in, I built a market in the corner, and I built a trade route, and I instead of building all of the animals of Set, I kept building hippos here, and I tried to make a trade route, and I tried to take this game late game. Hitting the late game significantly earlier than every other Egyptian player might help out. I don't know. But after that fight, we make some mercenary cavalry a little bit late there. If I was building mercenary cavalry with the 1,000 gold that I had, I think I might have been okay here. But yeah, I click resign there because, well, it's Set versus Hades, and I don't have an advantage, and I've blown everything. So there's going to be an earthquake coming. There's going to be, or worse, Hephaestus. It's going to be tough for me to win from that position. But a decent game, and I tried that build order out, and it's just, yeah. I think if I just go for a normal strategy against Hades with Set instead of going for that build, it's good. I made this strategy for a completely different matchup, and I decided to use it against the Hades. Didn't end up working out. It was fun, a fun game there. But yeah, well. GG, we'll go on to game number 2. Hope you enjoy.